Okay, so this is our front desk based on your open tickets. You have your different tabs at the top, estimates. You can change the ticket statuses based on status of the ticket. Once they're approved, then you know you're doing the job. Set the status as approved. And this kind of keeps them all organized. When a ticket is done and you're like the vehicle's finished and you're waiting for payment, you can set it as finished and it would be in the finished tab. And these would be all the tickets you know you're still awaiting payment for.
Okay.
Once you process the payment on a ticket, it'll come through. It'll automatically mark the ticket status as paid. They would all be in your paid tab. And then when you run your end of day, at the end of the day to process all of these, they will then run through and move into your history, so you can view them there
Okay.
after, and run any reports when you're running your end of day. So let's start creating a ticket. On the bottom, you would just click Create Ticket. So
Okay.
come here. If you have any new customers, you can check New Customer here. Um,
And everybody will be because I don't think I'm going to be able to move my database because I have cars, which is like from the 80s,
oh,
maybe early 90s over. So I don't know. I think it's going to be everybody's going to be new.
okay.
So I'm
I,
assuming I will be doing like a lot of
that
inputting.
entry, right?
Yeah, right.
I can have one of my programmers reach out to you and take a look at your
Oh,
software
that'd be great.
to see if
Okay,
it would be
that'd
able
be
to
super
be
helpful.
converted. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, I'll put a note into here. Car software.
Okay.
Is it just CARS? Cars, that's what it's called?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. If they're old enough, they'll know.
Okay. All right. So as you start building your customer base and you start typing, anything matching the
Okay.
criteria you put in will automatically come up.
Okay.
So you have the customers at the top. Any vehicles they have will be shown on the bottom. You can have as many vehicles as they have. If you
Okay.
need to add a new vehicle, you can add a new
If they
vehicle.
get if they get rid of a vehicle, can I delete that vehicle or is it in there forever?
No, you can delete it as long as there aren't any
Okay.
open tickets with that vehicle
Okay.
on it.
Okay.
It'll allow you to
Okay.
delete the vehicle, but your history will still stay
Okay.
there with that vehicle.
Okay.
You can
Okay.
switch
Just because I
ownership
have
if you need
in
to.
my thing right now, I can't do that.
Oh,
So I've
really?
got like customers that we've had for like 30 years, and they've gone through a lot of
A lot of
cars,
cars in
and
there,
they're all
all in
there.
there. Wow.
Yeah, and
Okay.
they keep the license plate, so that makes it a little tricky. So
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
continue on.
definitely.
Sorry,
That's
I'll
okay.
quit interrupting.
That's okay. All right, so we're going to choose her Ford Crown Vic and click Create Ticket on the bottom.
Okay.
And this will automatically open, and you have all of the customer information up here. You can come hit the edit button, come in and edit anything if you need. You can also preset discounts that you can have
Okay.
assigned to any customer. If you have a particular labor rate for that customer, you can enter it there. Any phone
Okay.
numbers. You have printing notes too if you want something to print on the invoice, or internal notes if it's just something that you guys need to know when you're working
Okay.
on this.
Okay.
All right, save. And then you have the vehicle information on the other side. Same thing, you go in and edit. Baymaster also tracks services that you do. So, and you have like
Okay.
your intervals set. You can set different vehicle groups if they might have different intervals based on their driving ways.
Okay.
So whenever you do, like say an inspection, we have a marketing feature where there's two options. You can either go in and run a report on services due and send out like postcards, or if you have their cell phone number or email, you can send it via text or email instead, just like a friendly reminder. Or we have automatic now, which we never had before. You can set it up to automatically go in however many days before, and the program will automatically send out any reminders via text or email,
Okay.
whichever you have on file. Okay, so click save there. We also have a list of our images too. You can save any tickets if you're doing an inspection or whatever. You can actually come in and save pictures to the ticket
Okay.
from your computer that you can,
Okay.
they'll be there in history for you to
So if
view.
I
And
had a laptop or a tablet that I was using, I could be able to import that in.
Yeah, but if you have a laptop and you're actually doing, we have like a bunch of inspections that we have set up in here. You can
Okay.
actually take the picture right from the tablet in here. When you're actually
Okay.
doing an inspection, you can click Add Image and actually take the picture. In the other
Okay.
screen, it would have to be one that's saved on that device to be able to save it
Okay.
on there.
Okay.
But the digital inspections, you can come through. You can even customize how these are set, like what the headers are. You can, make it your own. Let's just say pass, pass. Let's see. And you can put like little notes on any of them. Bushings, look, I don't know, worn. And just come through all here. I'm just gonna, just so you can see, because this will also print on the invoice. I'll just mark the rest as. You can put any inspection notes down here. Uh, Bushings,
Can you hold
look.
on just a second?
Sure. Yep.
That'll be fine. Okay, I'm back.
All right. And then you can click save. And now we have our inspection on here. And then if you're actually doing like a repair, we have a whole bunch of preset canned jobs in here. If you have
Okay.
any online vendors like, who was it that called me?
We deal with OK Auto, but also, which is you guys. We've got CarQuest in town, O'Reilly's. I'd
Okay.
like to be able to put on RepairLink, if that's a possibility, and U.S. Auto Force. Are those all something we would be able to do?
What was the first one you mentioned before CarQuest? The first one you said?
That's you guys. I call it OK Auto, but you call it it's Skip Shop.
Oh, okay. Ooh, yeah, we're
Yeah, no, I call it OK because it's been OK for years
okay.
to me. So
Skip your shot. Yeah,
that's how old I am.
I don't know if he's CarQuest. Wow, I can't. Auto Value. Trying to remember where I know him
Auto
from.
Value, yeah,
Auto Value. Okay, okay, okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, yeah.
definitely
To me, it's
Auto
OK
Value.
Auto Value, but I always
Oh, okay, that's funny. Yeah, we definitely can do Auto Value, CarQuest, O'Reilly, and I believe U.S. Auto Force, but I'd have to
okay,
find out more about Repair Link.
okay.
Um,
That's dealer pricing, but for me, when I order off the internet, it's actually cheaper than if I would call them to order that.
okay.
Can you hold on for just one
Yep.
moment? Just make a ticket and hold on just a second.
Yep.
So grab this. Okay, I think we're on. Oh, can you hear me or no? You're on. Am I on? Okay, we're all back.
Okay.
She's recording this, so you'll be able to catch up. Okay. So, all right, Mark's on with us too, so continue on.
Okay, so now if you're going to go into, well, let me just back up here real quick. If you're going to add a repair, we also have, you can set up custom oil change packages also, and all your other repairs would be in the repair button. So let's just say we're doing brakes. I don't know, we'll do front brakes. This isn't really going to match my inspection form I did, but that's okay. I'll just say disc front brakes with calipers and click save. You can preset these jobs to automatically show up on the ticket with any parts that you want. Once you have a supplier, I'm just going to use my SpeedyCat demo. This is kind of what your auto value would look like and your O'Reilly. Let's see. So we come in here, say we're doing brakes. You could either do a description search up here or just come down and run through the ceramic pads. What did I pick? Um, I'm just going to do ceramic pads. and it'll automatically come up and show you any availability that they have. The little magnifying glass here will open up into another tab and show you any imaging, warranty, any warranty information, product information. You have OE cross-reference numbers, and you can print this if you need to. Close that. If you have the inventory feature, it'll also let you know if you have any of this item in your own stock. So you can either click on here to use stock, or let's say this one to order. We'll do the use stock. We also have a motor package, which has like the labor guides, all of like the motor tech, the repair procedures, wiring diagrams, quick lube, preventive maintenance schedules, tune-up specs, um, diagnostic
And
trouble
I would
codes.
need that so that to make my billing process seamless, correct? I would need to purchase that also so that when I'm writing a ticket that automatically comes up, I can click to that and it would link in my repair order as opposed to me typing it by hand.
Yeah, actually with the labor guides, you could do right from up here. Like if you once you have a vendor set up, you can click on labor and oh, no labor results came back.
So this goes from Epicor directly onto the repair order, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
All right. I don't know why I can't get. Let me just find this something that's gonna have labor with it. We'll just do that. Labor. Wow.
So
What is going on
which
here?
which program is this? Is this
This is Baymaster.
okay?
All right. So, well, all right. We'll just use stock. You can either save and order, which this would actually send the order directly to your vendor, or you can click save only to just save it on the ticket as an estimate. So then it'll come back with your part information. You can remove any of these. There's a red X over here. You can kind of, remove any lines you don't need. The motor options, you would go into catalogs. And if you have ALLDATA or Identifix, we can get that set up in here as well. The only thing with Identifix, they don't integrate with us where you can save things from the catalog onto the ticket. ALLDATA does. But we go to motor, and you have your parts and labor guide in here, preventative maintenance, wiring diagrams, the TSBs, component locator, brake specs.
Oh,
Go ahead.
what about does the preventative maintenance, does that have the manufacturer maintenance schedules?
Yes, let's open that up. And with Baymaster 2, everything is vehicle specific, so it's going to, look for only what's compatible with the vehicle that's on the ticket.
Yeah.
All right, this doesn't show
when
any
the vehicle
intervals.
comes in,
Right. So this is multiple like 6 months, 5,000 miles. You could click here for more info, get any related TSBs. You can have up to 9 work groups on a ticket. So let's say engine oil. We'll include that and click save.
so this does not have like a quick link to see what like 100,000 mile service would be. Say a car comes in with 95,000 miles for an oil change. Obviously, we'd want to recommend 100,000 mile service
Right.
and quote that out as quickly as possible.
It's supposed to,
So,
yeah, if you have anything when you're in there, which I mean, this is just my demo. I might have to have my guys take a look at
okay,
it. But typically when you go into the preventative maintenance screen, if there's anything that's past due or past mileage, it'll show up in red. It'll like highlight for you to like grab your attention that, oh, this vehicle is overdue on this. So you would be able
okay.
to know by that. Um, and what it does is getting it from in there, it brings back the OE part information. So normally you'd be able to click here, go to your supplier, and this better work. It's supposed to cross-reference and pull up anything that's related with that. So it would come back with any of your vendors. You could say, oh, okay, well, we're going to get this one, and then save, and it will replace that OE number with your actual vendor's part number and your pricing and whatnot. So you could go back to ticket. Our oil change packages you can custom set. So we'll pull up one of those. We'll do the $49.99. We have this set to automatically go into our primary vendor. And we have it set to not only look up an oil filter, but a fuel filter and an air filter as well for upsell. So it'll do its thing, pull up everything. And now we can see the availability. Go ahead.
Can we modify that? Can we also have it look up like cabin filters?
Yes,
Or
actually with the with the oil changes, yes.
so
In the jobs editor, you can customize it to add cabin oil filters, cabin air filters as well. Yep. And I think
okay.
PCV valves is listed there too. um,
Okay. Yeah,
so,
like those exist anymore.
sorry, we got two, so we're gonna order that. Got our fuel filter, we'll order that. This oil filter we have in our own inventory, so we'll use our stock. And then we'll come up and add the labor. And with the labor, it actually comes up with standard, severe, and warranty times. So we could do standard. Fuel filter, we click labor, that'll bring it to the top for us, and do our standard there. And again, you can save and order right from here or save only onto the ticket. Now also, with the oil change packages and the motor tech data, with the quick lube that we offer with the motor tech data, it'll actually come back and let you know how many quarts of oil is recommended for this vehicle, the weight of oil that's recommended for this vehicle. If there were different temperatures based on the weight, it would break that up for you as well. All right, this vehicle needs 6 quarts. Um, your inventory will come up and show you what you have in stock based on the type of oil you want this package to look for. So we're going to do 5W20. Now this package is also set to include up to 5 quarts of oil. So anything over that, it will automatically add it like an extra quart, additional quantity. So this vehicle, we're going to charge them for 6 quarts. So Baymaster automatically comes in and adds that extra quantity. Same thing with our oil filter. We have it set to include up to $13. So anything that goes over that retail price will add it like an upgrade. Then you have your air filter and your fuel filter. And here's all your labor on the bottom. The oil changes included.
And that labor is there because we've purchased not just the billing but the motor extra add-on, correct?
No, the labor you can either manually put in, but the to pull from the labor guides, that's the motor data, yeah.
But because I'm on the paying end of this, so I'm just wanting to see if we're doing all of this, so this isn't all just one thing. This is two different programs working together. Is that correct?
Kind of, yeah. You have the Baymaster and Baymaster's features, which is like the
Okay.
canned jobs and whatnot, and then we have the motor tech package that we can add on
Okay.
as well. Yeah.
Okay.
And this is
Okay.
all of the
At
motor.
the end, I'll talk pricing with you. I just want to make sure that I'm not in my head paying for one thing, but I'm actually going to need to be paying for 2 or 3 things.
Right. Right now,
And
it's
I want to add it all up and see what we're looking at.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Continue on. Sorry.
Okay. No. I'm sorry. um. So now, if customer comes and says like, "Oh, well, I don't want you to do the fuel filter today," whichever, you can always just remove that and remove the labor for that. And then again, just go back to ticket. Now we're building our ticket, and you can have up to 9 different work groups on here. If you, let's say, now the customer, like you got approval to do the job, so you can set the ticket to approved, and then let's do a preview. I should have done it before. When it's set as an estimate, let's wait for this to come up. See, it says work order number, and it has the work order number. You can also choose to have your work order numbers date-based, which this is 10/11, ticket number 1. Then it'll be like 19, 10, 11, 002. So you always know when that ticket was made. When it's set as an estimate, it says estimate. When it's set as approved, it says work order. When it's set to finish, like when you're done with the vehicle, just waiting for payment, it'll say invoice number. Here's the inspection that we did. Is how it prints on there. Any messages that you have will print on here as well. And here's our jobs. Parts are always on the left, labor's on the right. There's our oil change. Discounts, you can preset discounts. And you have the option too, the surcharges. You can have it just
If I don't want to do a discount, that line won't come up.
correct. Yeah, it won't even be there. Right,
Okay.
right. You can choose to have the surcharges and discounts only show in the totals field or show like its own work group up here. You have that option as well. Any recommendations that the technician puts on the ticket or whatever will print here as well. At the top, we have any customer instructions that the customer gives you will be printed on there. Customer information, vehicle information, and so that's that. Let's see, close out of that. Here's your vehicle recommendations, any customer instructions. Let's see, source of lead. You can track source of lead too, how they found out about you. If you happen to have like an ad on the radio or whatever, you can track how people found out about you. Um, Adjustments. If you need to make any adjustments, you can come into surcharge discount, and these are the discounts that we have set up. You can activate any of them. Any surcharges, you can preset surcharges too to have them show up in here. You can have them based on parts or labor. Some of them you can have like shop supplies. If you have like a shop supplies, you can set it to automatically apply to every ticket that has parts or labor, whatever you're charging the shop supplies on. Any gas, ROA, or deposits can be entered here. The tax rate, which that's wrong for New Jersey now. That's like old, but and then save. Um, Oh, so the order, let's say the customer says, all right, like now I'm gonna, all right, yeah, go ahead and go do the job. The parts that we had on order, you could click on order parts, and those parts will list in here, and you can choose which ones, you can either check all or choose which ones you want to place the order. The PO number will always be the ticket number for like a paper trail. You can enter any kind of message in here and then place your order. And then when you receive it, let's go on to a part. Let's go into front discs. When you actually receive the part, you can come in here, click on that part line, click add delivery, and this will tell you, you have your date, your item number, invoice number. These buttons won't highlight until there's an invoice number in there, but this way, in case anything happens, if it's defective or whatever, you can always go back to that ticket and look at exactly where you got it from, when, and whatever you need to know in here. Um, let's see. We have a texting feature. You can actually text customers. If you press texting from here, it's just going to send this work group alone if you want to get like an approval or whatever. If you do it from out here, you have the option of sending like all of the jobs. So if you want, we will send a sample text. Let me set it back to estimate. Set it back to estimate and go to texting. And if you have like taxes in your state, you can do like an estimate total detail, which would give the subtotal tax and total. Or you just do total only, which would break that up. All group totals, if you wanted to break down the different work groups, and then it would have the total with your shop name and phone number. And you can add any extra text on here too if you need to, send a message. You could even just wipe this whole thing out if you just have a question to ask them. So let me send this here. I think because I wiped it out, I messed it up. All group totals. What is the cell phone number I can send this to so you guys can see how the program works and if they reply back?
530
530.
908
Okay.
0001.
Okay, so I'm going to send that. And when you receive it, just reply like okay or approved or whichever. And with the text messages, everything is date and time stamped. So we have a text tab over here also which it'll show any outgoing messages, everything's date and time stamped. When you reply, that'll show up in here too. And you have the option to, down here in the corner, if there's a check mark here, it'll print on the invoice. So say in the event that you can't get a signature, but you did get approval, you can choose to print that text on that ticket. Um, all right.
Or that works if somebody says that they didn't authorize a repair, and then you can show them, well, you texted back that you did.
Right,
'Cause
exactly, yep.
some customers do have pulled that in the past.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it, yep.
So,
And then this alerts thing up here, which don't ignore my subscription thing, but it'll tell you, all right, one unread text. It'll tell you the date and time, the customer name, and the ticket that it pertains to, in case you're not already in that ticket like we are. I'm just going to click mark it as read, and I might have to refresh the page for it to show up there. Let me refresh texts. So now here's your reply, 11:46 approved. And then when we go to preview the ticket, I think it prints under all of them if it's not a particular work group. So here we go. This is the messages sent, and this is the message that we received back giving us approval to do the job. And then here's your little disclaimer. You can customize that if you need to make any changes. That's all on the admin screen where all the setup happens. Does anybody have any questions at this time?
for the initial write-up sheet, is that all customizable? Like, can you have an authorization line for a diagnostic fee? Can you add that?
Oh yeah, you can add any other kind of notes. Here, let's see if we go into printing. We have all these notes that are preset that you can, which I'll go on the admin screen and show you because it shows way too small there. Let's go back. All right, here's all of our open tickets. If we go to admin and notes and packets, a lot of these, when you get it, these are all preset in here, but I'm just going to go edit on a couple. You can print whatever note, make a signature line, anything you want to print. You might even be able to set it like per job, like if you're doing that type of job. You have these check codes here. These are all set up in here already that you can use. Make your own cooling system, which I don't know if anybody really uses these. HVAC diagnostic worksheet. What else we got in here? Here's the standard disclaimer, but you can, add anything to it. Just make any other kind of sample notes.
That was exactly what I was talking about. And then, we could customize that with a diagnostic fee saying, yeah, the disclaimer giving us authorization to even touch and or work on the vehicle.
Right.
Because we're not utilizing anything like that as of now.
Okay.
We'd like to. So.
Yeah, you can definitely preset any of these notes here. Then we also have other packets here, like inspection packet, state approved facility. A lot of these are, just preset in there, but like I said, you can edit them if you want any coupons you can print out on there.
Is there an inspection program that could go along with this? Oh, okay.
Actually have, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cool. That's okay. Yeah, this is where these get set up, where our digital inspections. This is where you can select how you want your column headers to read. So we have like a brake inspection. You can do just brakes. You can set if you want a note or a button to show up in there, which the note gives you the option to write a little note. I'll show you on the ticket. And the button is just like pass, fail. You can make them as big or as little as you want.
This can all be texted as well?
No, not I don't think the inspections can be texted, but hold on, let me take a look. Let's go back to our ticket we were just on. let's go under car inspection. That's the one we did. So when you're actually looking at it on your computer or your tablet, this is how it's going to look to you. These are the buttons. These are the notes. So you can choose that. Let's see. Add image. You can add image, TSBs. Oh my
So
God.
so you could take
It's for the tablet.
you could take pictures and videos. Are videos possible?
I don't think videos. I think you can just take a picture and
Okay.
save it onto here. And the pictures, if you go to view images, the pictures can be emailed or texted, but not the actual inspection itself. But I can add that to the suggestion list.
Well,
It's
it would be nice to, well, because I'm familiar with SmartFlow, and that was one of the nice perks to that program is that you could do the digital inspection, and you could add pictures and or videos of bad components and text that, and that would go forward to the customer. So there was no question that when they got their inspection, they could see exactly what we were talking about. So, hey, not having video is not that big of a deal, but I was just inquiring
yeah,
about
the pictures you can
images.
definitely text them. The pictures are not the inspection form itself, but the images, yes. And I am going to see if they can. I've never tried it. I mean, you could try them.
Well,
If I set you guys up on a demo,
I would think
yeah,
you would want to be able to text the inspection along with the images. That
right, right.
I mean, they kind of go together.
I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna add that to the suggestion list.
Or can you email it?
Um,
Because a lot of folks do have an email that they'd like their
well, what you,
because you should be able to print, email, or text an inspection.
yeah, not just the inspection. Well, what we can probably do, let me see, if we uncheck these guys, because you can email them um, the actual invoice. So with me removing them, I think only the inspection is going to show up on here now. Oh, and the texts. But we can remove that. Let's get that off there. Which is a couple extra steps. I'm going to see if there's a way. What's over here? No. Preview. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you could send that, but the pictures would be separate. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely going to suggest that because that is a very good idea. You can send the pictures, but yeah, why can't you add the inspection form with it? Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna add that up here. My notes. Okay. Any other questions?
Um, I'm trying to. I missed the first portion, so I'm trying to
Yeah,
trying to
I'll kind of go
I'm
back a
trying
little
to
bit here, even though I'm recording it. That's okay. This is pretty much your front desk. This is where all of your open tickets are stored. You saw where you can
okay.
change the ticket status, so you can, like, your estimates would be your new and estimates. Once they're marked as approved, they would fall under this column, so you kind of keep it more organized. If you have a part on order
Okay.
that you,
So
go ahead.
no, I okay. So initially, um, my goal is to be able to have all of my repair orders for the next day pre-printed. So basically, those would all be underscheduled. Customer shows up, then you move it to estimates, correct?
Well, usually an estimate is, before you get approval. Like, you're just like, they're bringing the car in, it's making this noise. Can you figure out what's going on? So, while you're running through checking the car out, you're creating an estimate. And, once
Okay.
the customer says, oh, okay, like, yeah, go ahead and do that, then you can change his ticket status to approved. But scheduled to be, yeah, scheduled, because we also have our scheduler down here, which I didn't touch on
Okay.
before. You can set it up by however many bays you want, or you can name it as you want. Some shops set it up by technician, some shops set it
Yeah.
up by
It
bay.
would probably be by technician.
Right.
So
So yeah, you can customize that however you want. All of your unscheduled tickets would be in the unscheduled column. You can just kind of drag and drop them wherever you want them to go. If you need to, say, schedule something for tomorrow, which I'm just going to put set. Well, let's make it Monday. Monday. All right, so here's all of your unscheduled tickets, and you can just drag them, just drag and drop wherever you
Okay,
want.
and you color code them as
They're color coded
finished,
based on yeah, in
in
progress,
progress.
not
Yeah.
started, finished, paid, or problem might be like you're waiting for a part on order, or like that's like kind of at a standstill right now. Um, and this, yeah, and then this you'll be able to actually, if you click on agenda, it will give you all of your tickets, but it doesn't pre-print them. Are you still there? Hello? Hello?
Oh, we all just looked at each other and said, I think I did something. Oh. Anyways, continue on.
Okay. So here you can be able to see a list of your tickets that you have, but there's no way from the scheduler to be able to automatically print the tickets that are on the schedule for that day. So you would kind of probably have to write down, oh, if they're in the schedule. Another thing that a lot of people do, I don't see that field out here. Let me add. Oh, we also have a note field here, which when you're actually in a ticket, unlock. I should have went into the other ticket I was working on. All right, never mind. Come on. All right. Estimates. Let's go back in here. There is a note. So, like when you're actually scheduling it, you can put like the scheduled date in here. A lot of people use this note field for a lot of different reasons. You could use this
Okay.
as, your date, like the date that they're scheduled for, so that when you're actually out here on the front desk, you can go through your no field and know exactly which ones have to be printed for tomorrow. That's one way to um, to do that. Let's see. Um, yeah, the schedule. 'Cause yeah, I don't think there's a way to print it from in here. Um, you can load the ticket. You can go in and load each one and print them. But you can also set
So
committed.
yeah,
God,
so now let me ask you this: do you recommend um, everybody having a tablet or a PC or a
well,
laptop?
the great thing is
You
you
know,
can, you can access it on whatever, like the technicians, especially when they're doing the inspections, would be, very easy if they had it on for them, if they had it on a tablet, because then they could just kind of walk around the car, make their notes, and as soon as they save that inspection form, you can access it on the computer. It's saved to it. So, any pictures that they put there, you can then, pull it up and show the
so when the
customer or whatever.
when the technician's done with that, does that get sent to the computer up front? Like, will the service advisor know that inspection's done while he's changing the oil? Uh, then the service advisor can start working on quotes.
Well, it won't send it
You know what I'm
automatically,
saying?
but as soon as they get out of it, I mean, yeah, anybody else can access that ticket once they're done with it.
Okay.
There's no like
So
alert that comes up that, this is done now. Which is probably a good way to, let's see, maybe they could use the note field
so
for
so
that. I don't know.
so when the technician is done with his digital inspection, there's no submit button for him or anything. There's no.
No, he
I,
just, when
I
he's,
I I would just have to continually look at his inspection and see where he's at.
right. Well, yeah, I'm going to add that to the suggestion too. But yeah, just once they're done, they would just have to click save and it's saved on the ticket. But let me add that here. A way to have service writer know when definitely going to add that because no, there is currently is not a way for that, but makes a lot of sense to me.
Okay. Okay.
Um, Another thing to know too, if you have, like, let's say you have your front disc on, your brakes on here and your oil change. Let's say the customer says like, all right, well, I need the oil change done today, but maybe I'll come back next week for the brakes. You can just, now that you have your quote set up in here already, you can just take this check mark out. It'll mark it as a quote and then process the payment on what they are doing. The next time this customer comes in with this vehicle and you create a ticket, this quote will automatically show up on the ticket and like alerting you like, oh, hey, remember last time you were here, you didn't have your brakes done. Is that something, is that what you're here to do today? Or is that something else you'd like to do
Okay.
today?
Good. So you have a customer history.
Yeah. Yeah. You can even come in the history button on the bottom when you're in a ticket. We'll show you all
Okay.
the history for this vehicle. You can click on any ticket on the bottom. It shows the jobs that were done. So if you're looking for something in particular, you can just scroll through there. Warranty. That's good. If it's a warranty, you might want to set the status as warranty, so it's kind of easy when you're coming through and looking.
Okay.
Um, I don't know if it'll work on this vehicle because this is, I think, just a demo vehicle. But oh yeah, I'm not even signing up with Carfax because I'm a demo. But we also connect with Carfax, where all you have to do is put in the state and the plate, and there will be a decode button, and you could just decode. It'll fill everything in for you. And then there's Carfax
Okay.
service history, where you can always go in and view any history that um, Carfax has for that vehicle. You can look and see, even if it's a vehicle that you're buying, you can look and see, how does this person maintain this vehicle or whatever. Find out when their last oil
Okay.
change was done, if it's the first time they're at your shop or whatever. Um, any other questions at this time that you could think of? Anyway, because if
Not
you
that I can think of right now.
Because if you want, I'm sure once you get on here and start toying around with it, they'll come flood into you.
Yeah.
um, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a demo, like a trial account set up for you guys so you can test it out for like 2 weeks.
Okay, and I probably won't access that right away because we're looking at a couple of different programs too to see what works best for our shop.
Okay, so if you want to, if you want me to put that on pause, if you want to just let me know when you want to
That'd be
begin to
great.
try. Okay, yeah, that's
Sure.
absolutely fine. Absolutely
And
fine.
if we could talk for just a second, I want to ask.
Oh, Corey. Yep, I'm here
Hello.
again.
Oh, here you go.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, you have a couple questions?
I do. So pricing per month on that, I'm assuming it's monthly
You could
in
pay you
perpetuity.
could pay monthly, or if you decide to ever pay annually, you get a 10% discount for doing so.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay. So what's the price on that annually then? Because if I did it, I would.
well, it would be based on the features that you need. The Motor Tech package, actually for new customers only, is actually 79 per month for the first year. Then it'll go up to 99 for all of these. Um,
Okay. And what does that package include?
this includes
The 79.
that's all just the tech data, the motor parts and labor, the quick quotes, the OEM parts pricing, labor times, repair procedures, wiring diagrams,
Okay.
component locator diagrams, quick lube, preventative maintenance schedule, tune-up specs, technical service bulletins, diagnostic trouble codes, brake specs, wheel alignment specs, steering suspension specs, and VIN decoding if you ever wanted to opt out of Carfax.
So that was everything that we just went through. That would be for the $79 a month.
No, that's just the motor addition of it. The Baymaster part, it
Okay,
starts
that's
at
the addition.
$40. The base program, which you have to start with, at $40. So the 119 promotion you see is just this base with the Motor Tech package. But that doesn't include, then you'd have to add on the inventory. Full history, I always recommend because without the full history, you can only see the last 3 tickets you did for each customer. End of day with reporting that allows you to choose when you're processing your paid tickets and run reports. Without that, you get no reports. Scheduling, if you're going to do a lot of scheduling, we have the scheduling feature I showed you. Labor tracking and technician list. This allows you to set your technicians up and mark them on the tickets that they actually did. The canned jobs, I showed you that's everything in the repair button that you can customize all of the jobs that are in there. Marketing, postcards, emails, that's where you can send the service reminders, whether you want to run reports and manually send them or set the program up to automatically send them. The digital inspection forms, which I showed you, which are actually free with the custom jobs. The digital inspections is free with the custom jobs. Imaging and signatures, which the imaging, what is the imaging? Um, I gotta look at my notes. I think that's free too with something. Hold on.
And that multi-user, that's for each computer I'm adding?
Well, there's a multi-user. That's if you're not on the cloud, and then the cloud fee. But actually, if you have multi-user cloud, it's $10 per user. It wouldn't be the 13. It's $10 per user per one that needs to be able to access at the same time. And then if you have QuickBooks, we have a QuickBooks interface. Any part suppliers you want to get set up. We also have an accounting feature, which if you don't have QuickBooks, I didn't even get to touch on that yet. Real quick, let me show you that. If you have, let's say, you have a customer that has like net terms, or they just pay like once a month, but you do, do a lot of work for them, you can actually set the ticket status to invoiced, which is in here somewhere, invoiced. And what that'll do is on the front desk, that will it'll allow that payment to run through your next end of day. So it's with your, next, like today's sales, say, but it'll automatically create a copy of that ticket referencing the original ticket number for you to actually process that payment when you receive it. So this way you can kind of have it, and down here it kind of instructs on how it works. Once you set it to invoiced, you cannot change it. So if that's something that, and we can even like turn that feature off or remove the payment due tab if it's something that you don't want to do. Some of our shops just
Yeah.
want to have all their finished tickets open now here, and and just let the sale go through when they actually pay it. So it's another option. Let's get back to pricing. Counting, we have a time card module where you can have your technicians actually clock in and out of each job that they're doing. That's $5 a month per technician that you have set up. Truckmaster, if you work with a lot of big trucks, um, it gives, for fleets and trucks, offer up to 18 work groups. Particularly instead of like the canned jobs, you can have up to 9 different work groups. With the Truckmaster, you can have up to 18 different work groups. And if you want to come to our website here, which I'm sure you were, you can click on any of these features
Oh, sure.
and
Yeah,
it tells you exactly what that feature does for you, so that you can kind of go through and figure out exactly what you think you'll need, and all of that. And I can create once you take a look at this and know what you want, I can create an actual quote for you, and take it from there. We also have pre-printed work order forms we can have printed up for you. We have a custom website where shops can actually go to your website and let's see, they can actually go to your website and view um, view their vehicle history at your shop. If you have any coupons out here, they can automatically choose these coupons.
I have a quick question for you,
Yeah.
and you may have touched on this, and you just have to tell me. So, if I did this and I wanted to, how do I access the motor, like the wiring diagrams and stuff? Where was that?
That
Is
would,
that right in the?
when you're actually in a ticket. Yeah, let's go in the ticket here.
Okay.
And so when you're actually,
My obviously I don't need that, but my tech will.
right, right, right. Any work group that you're in, so you just click on, let's say we'll go to the brakes, then you go to catalogs and then motor,
Yeah.
and that's where everything's
Perfect.
listed
You
in
just
there.
showed me that.
Yep,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay, you did show me that. And I see that it mentions Identifix Direct Hit. Somebody told me that that motor diagrams and stuff were in Identifix. Is that not right?
Yeah, Identifix does. I don't know if they get a. I don't know if they have a different. I don't know if there's anything different, but Identifix does get
But
their
yours is
labor
not.
times from Motor. I don't know if they get everything from Motor, but
Okay.
I know their labor times do come from Motor. But if you have an
Okay.
Identifix account or an All Data account with them, we can get it set up in Baymaster. The only thing with Identifix
Okay.
is for some reason you can't save the labor times, like labor descriptions to the ticket anymore. They don't
Okay.
offer that
Okay.
integration.
All right. Okay. That's what I need to know. Okay. You have answered all my questions, and I very much appreciate your time. I know you've got somebody probably on the other line all ready for you to call them. So,
Yeah, yeah.
can you give me your phone number and extension?
Absolutely. I'll give you my direct line. There's no extension. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay. I'm
It
ready.
is 732
Mhm.
784
Mhm.
6451.